I Do you have an habit that you wish to stop, but you can't just seem to stop, or it's looking really, really difficult for you to stop? Well, if you do, then this video is for you. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So, I'll be defining two things. First, we have discipline, and then we have understanding. Discipline says, get back in line, whips and chains, get back in line. And then understanding says, you know better now, so therefore act better. With these two in mind, there are two types of people when it comes to correcting habits. The first type of person tries to discipline himself without first understanding himself. And this is hard. It works, but it really works. You find yourself relapsing, you find yourself going back to the same habits that you are trying to correct, to the same things that you are trying to change. Not because you are a goat or because you are stubborn or because there's something wrong with you. No, but it's because you have not first understood yourself. I always say something: self knowledge is the beginning of self improvement. If you don't know yourself, then you don't know what you are correcting, right? So, discipline without understanding is like trying to navigate a terrain without a map. It becomes so hard. It's doable, but it is hard. Now, let's move on to the second type of person: the person that observes himself, that understands himself, right? When you have knowledge about yourself, you identify your triggers, you identify what causes you to act that way, which type of people you are moving with, the people around you, the things in your environment that are causing that exact behavior. And then when you do, discipline becomes simple. It does not feel like it does not feel like discipline anymore. It starts feeling like adjustment because you already know where the problem is, you already know what to do and what to correct. So with discipline, you have to memorize rules and you have to constantly remember them. You have to constantly put yourself back in line. You have to constantly tell yourself to get back in line. But with understanding, you know your triggers, you know what causes you to act like that. So whenever the situation arises that would make you act like that, you would recognize it instantly and you can then decide in the moment without having to carry rules around, without having to force yourself to be what you are not. So, guys, it's as easy as that. To adjust yourself, to correct yourself, you have to first understand yourself. Understanding is a process that cannot be skipped. Say, for example, when you were younger, your parents said, don't go out past this time. And I'm sure it must have felt like, what the hell? Like, there are some kids out there playing and you're locking me inside. Like, you don't want me to have fun. But if your parents had called you and I said, okay, when you go out past this particular time, there are not many people outside, and that is when people with malicious intents come out to carry out their malicious acts. And when they make you understand that, they won't have to tell you before you yourself come back inside when it is time because you already know what is likely going to happen if you don't. That is the power of understanding. Understanding makes correction easy, but discipline without understanding makes it hard. So, guys, thanks for watching and don't forget to observe yourself, study yourself, know your triggers before you correct yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. There's nothing wrong with you for real. Just understand yourself. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next week.